Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this late night edition of WrestleScope Live. I am John. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening, or depending on where you're at this morning. We are into Friday morning now in the East Coast and the Central Time Zone. Still on Thursday, though, in Mountain and West Coast time. This is going to be a very brief live tonight. Yes, I'm on very late because I went to go see Thor: Love and Thunder. Give it a big thumbs up. I enjoyed the movie. Very good. Maybe it wasn't the best Thor movie ever, but it was good. Really good storytelling, really good action. My only complaint, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, my only complaint is it really didn't set up too much for the future. It set up a little bit, but not too much. So that would be my big disappointment out of the movie. But overall, I thought it was really good. Marvel did another great job with the movie, and Thor is just great. And I love Valkyrie. All right. So, want to talk about, and this story's actually been out for almost 24 hours now. This is the first opportunity I've had to talk about it. But the shakeup within the WWE Board of Directors continues as on, I believe it was Wednesday. No, actually, it was Wednesday. On Wednesday, Connor Schell, a member of the board of directors, resigned from his position, as he put it, due to an increased slate of responsibilities resulting from his new expanded role at the newly formed The North Road Company, which is a global multi-genre content studio. His decision to resign from the board supposedly is not due to any dispute or disagreement with the company, its management, or board on any matter relating to company operations, policies, or practices. This was a statement that was sent to the SEC. And this is just the latest in a line of things that are going on within WWE corporately. Obviously, we all know about the investigation with Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. Stephanie McMahon stepping in as the interim CEO. There are members of the board that are being investigated from outside law firms concerning possible insider trading. Lots of other things going on, and this is just another in the long list that continues to grow of issues going on with WWE corporately and the board of directors. And I've been saying since the Vince McMahon story broke, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, I have no inside information on this. This is just me stating my opinion, but there's still more to come. There is still more to come. I mean, we've already seen the allegations against Vince McMahon, the allegations against John Laurinaitis, the investigation into the board of directors, and now all of a sudden one of the members of the board of directors quits. What is going to be the next thing that's going to drop? It's really hard to say at this point, but I think we are going to continue to see more of these things happening. And the key thing to watch, it's not going to have an effect on the product on television as far as the wrestlers and storylines and content. The two big things to watch, first of all, are the stock prices. WWE stock, they are a publicly traded company. If these kind of things continue to happen, are we going to see a huge drop in WWE stock? Which I'm very curious. Let's go ahead and, while I'm thinking about it, let's take a look at WWE stock prices and what has happened with them Let's see. World Wrestling Entertainment. Trying to see here. Okay. Over the last month has gone from $66.66 to a high of $67.91 back on June 15th to a low of $65.07. And it's now at $65.07. So it's actually over the last month, it has only dropped slightly. And actually, over the last year, it is actually up almost a full dollar from where it was a year ago. But is that going to continue? Its lowest point was $47.25 back on August 19th of 2021. Now, it has been up and down very much. Amazingly, it actually saw a spike when the Vince McMahon story came out. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a significant drop here in the next couple of weeks. We shall see. Oh, Mizzy, hello, how are you? Yeah, a couple other things to get to real quick. Yes, spoiler out of NXT UK. Ilya Dragunov had to relinquish the NXT UK championship due to injury, and there is a new champion, and he's a two-time champion. Tyler Bate is your new NXT UK champion, defeating Trent Seven, who used to be his tag team partner and is now his bitter enemy in Mustache Mountain. They had an 8-man tournament. Hopefully, I'm not giving away any spoilers here. If I am, I apologize. But yeah, Ilya Dragunov had to relinquish the title. Tyler Bate is the first ever two-time NXT UK champion and only the 5th man to hold that title. He was the first, and now he's the 5th. And yes, Chris Benoit is trending on Twitter, and I, I think it has to do with comments that Jordan Grace made, which I'm not going to reference. Nothing negative against Jordan Grace. It is her opinion. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Yeah, people are bringing back up the comments that Paul Heyman made a couple of years ago on Inside the Ropes. Again, I'm not going to condone or admonish Jordan Grace for her comments. That is her personal opinion, and she's entitled to her opinion. I think what Chris Benoit did to his wife and his son was horrid, absolutely horrid. I make no excuses for him, because of, if he had CTE, if there were other things going on, there's no excuse for it. But again, Jordan Grace is entitled to her opinion, and we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to say it's an old story, but I figured we would have been far beyond this by now. I actually am curious. I'm going to take a look here real quick. Okay, you know what? I'm going to get into this real quick. I am going to get into this real quick. So Jordan Grace um, wrote in a response to a tweet from Robert O'Neill 31, and I don't know who that person is. But Robert O'Neill 31 wrote, "It's always wild listening to wrestlers discuss Chris Benoit in a professional context. They always be sure to note they aren't excusing what happened before praising his in-ring stuff for 10 minutes." Jordan Grace, oh, except New Jack. And here's Grace's response, and I'm going to read this in full verbatim. And I quote, "This is going to be the coldest take I ever tweet on this app. I already know y'all going to be mad. I don't think Benoit could 100% hang with most of the present day wrestlers. He would not be able to remember matches. Also, may he burn in hell. Amen." Proving a point, I said something very lightly critical about him. People jumped to defend him. He should never be defended. Dude lost that right when he gave his 7-year-old Xanax and strangled him while he was already unconscious. A fan asked Grace, and this is coming off of NoDQ.com. A fan asked Grace, "Removing the CTE, you don't think Benoit in his prime could keep up with the best of today? May I ask what the rationale behind that is?" Jordan Grace replied, "Maybe I'm biased because he murdered his family. I don't know. Probably just me. I think we should all hate him and disregard his entire body of work. But again, that's just my take. I always found it revolting to see people praise his wrestling after what he did." And Gail Kim got involved in it, just disagreeing with her on him being able to hang with the best of the best. Okay, so let me break this down real quick. One, um, I don't agree with her take on he could not hang with the best of the best today. I think he could. If you take Chris Benoit in his prime, he could put on 5-star matches with any of the top wrestlers today. I truly believe. But I really don't think we should be I don't think we should be talking about him anymore. Yes, he did some amazing things in the ring, but I'm sorry, his legacy was absolutely destroyed by what he did. Plain and simple. We cannot overlook that. We talked about something about like this last night with the with wrestlers and people being different. That Lucas, exactly. You like the character, but not the person. It's kind of hard to separate because Chris Benoit, the character on television, was not the Chris Benoit that was the person in real life. And I can't believe we're sitting here and talking about this in 2022, but anybody that is blasting Jordan Grace for her opinion on this, she may have worded it harshly in certain areas, but it's her opinion. She is one that does not like what he did. And I don't think nobody can make excuses for him. Whether it was CTE, if it was, depression along with it over the death of Eddie Guerrero, whatever it may have been, you can't make excuses. What he did, not just to his wife, Nancy, but his 7-year-old son, I think that's the one that hits the hardest. Again, taking the life of his wife is one thing, but taking the life of your child is even worse, personally. Yeah, Lucas, I don't remember exactly what Jericho said on Dark Side of the Ring. Probably have to rewatch that episode again. Boy, I hate to leave this on a low note like this tonight. Let me see if I can quickly find something positive. And ooh, somebody just tweeted a picture of a whole bunch of old WWF Hasbro figures. Man, those are cool. Here, let me shit. I don't think this guy would mind if I share the picture. It's on Twitter, so I don't think he'd care. That is a cool collection. Sid, Earthquake, Typhoon, Demolition, Bossman, Savage, two Savages, Akeem, couple of Warriors, Undertaker. Is that Marty? I'm assuming that's Marty Jannetty right there. Mr. Perfect, Hulk Hogan. I would love to get the Mr. Perfect one. Probably way out of my price range, though. And I can't be buying anything right now, anyways. I just thought it was kind of interesting to see that. Yes, I'm on for a few more minutes. Well, okay, back to the Benoit thing real quick. Because his older son was actually older and wasn't living in the house at the time. Daniel was only 7 and was living in the house with him and Nancy. The older son, David, I think it's David, who, okay, I am going to be critical of somebody here. He has been in interviews and talked about wrestling as Chris Benoit Jr. He is a wrestler. I don't know where he wrestles. Obviously, he hasn't made too much of a name for himself, but he has come out and said he wants to wrestle as Chris Benoit Jr. Is this kid nuts? Nobody would take him seriously. No major company would ever come anywhere near him, especially using the Benoit name, even though that's his name. Yeah, and that's going to be an expensive one to get a hold of, the Razor Ramon one. I don't know if they're going to have 2 nights of Fighter Fest this year. They might. They might for Rampage. They could potentially do it for Rampage. Yeah, they announced the tag team championship triple threat. What's the second match that was announced? I don't remember what the other one was. Bucks versus Swerve and Lee versus Powerhouse and Starks. I know that one. What was the other one that was announced? Yeah, WWE would never go near Benoit's kid. Benoit's son. Absolutely not. All right, I'm going to get out of here, everybody. It is super late for me. I got to be up in 6 hours for work. So, but I wanted to jump on here because doggone it, we got to keep the streak alive. It is 128. Oh, that's right, Claudio and Hager. Claudio and Hager. Thank you, Dorich. I appreciate you guys. And Callum, I'm sorry. Callum, I saw you too, buddy. Let's get your name up here. Great to see so many of you guys in here late. I apologize. But thank you very much for tuning in for this late night edition of WrestleScope TV. Like I said, short stream. I need to go to bed. I'm tired, but it was a good movie. Enjoyed it. Had fun. Um, I will be on most likely during the last half hour of SmackDown tomorrow night. We'll see. Um, if not, I will be on immediately after Rampage, but I would like to go on a little bit earlier tomorrow night if I can. So, something tells me if you believe Tom Colohue, and Tom Colohue is usually spot on with his stuff. If you don't follow him, his spoiler warning show on YouTube, follow Tom Colohue because he is usually spot on with a lot of stuff that he talks about. And we will be, according to him, and I'm not surprised by this whatsoever, we are going to be seeing a heel turn for a SmackDown superstar very soon, possibly as early as tomorrow night. And if it happens and it's the person I think it's going to be, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because it needs to happen. But it's going to create some interesting problems on that show because you're going to be heel heavy. Lucas, who? We'll talk about it tomorrow night. Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow night. But it's somebody that it would make a ton of sense after what recently happened to them for them to turn heel. And it would be beneficial for this person's character to be a heel as long as they're not on the microphone. No, it's not Liv. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I will talk to you. Well, I'll talk to you later today because for most of you, it's Friday now. All right. Have a good night, everybody.